Okay.
YouTube is delaying, so I'm going to say welcome everyone again, warm welcome to those who are with us, to our friends in Zoom, and warm welcome everyone who is watching us on YouTube. And I'm going to say also that everyone who is watching, those of you who are watching us on YouTube, you are free to jump here if you want to. I'm going to put the link. But why I can't, okay, here is the link. I'm going to put the link for Zoom in the chat window. So those of you who are watching us on YouTube, if you click on those links, you will jump here, right here, I mean in Zoom. Good evening, good morning. So I pick a title and I'm going to make a short introduction this time. Yeah, the title of today's meeting is Everything is a Concept, and what is, like, we can reflect on that. Everything is a concept. Before we start, Lubo said that, what did you say about non-duality?
The last concept.
Yeah, Lubo said the non-duality is the last concept. And yeah, it ultimately, when the experience of that word is, like, the meaning of that word is experienced, that word, like any other words and concepts, is the end of stop being that word so important. You know, each time when something becomes important, this is a sign, a red line. Because ultimately, how can something be more important than something else? And each attempt to rely on certain type of concept to realize something is also a trap. I mean, each book, yeah, we can have a beautiful insights, we can have a lovely revelation, but if we stick there, like, I mean, this is the book and that's it, and that's, we know how the religion ends with that. Each practice, each method, technique, way, ultimately, everything is a concept. Maybe sounds a little bit harsh, but actually there is compassion in that, because it's just a reminder whenever it feels that I am sticking to something. It's just hey, don't give so much importance because there is none. Would you like to say something?
We can investigate this. So let's everyone notice his, her hand. And this is mine. This is Lubo's hand. This is Barbara's, etc. hand. But without concept, this is non-dual. No name. My life. What does it find which life? No concept. Can we find someone who is making this with effort? No, it's a personality. What does mean that something is covered by thought, by concept? Such thing. No need concept. No need to seek for something. Seeking is just a doubt, like little babies които нямат, имат чувство, че са загубили майка си.
Like a little, a baby who has this feeling that it lost his or her mother.
And we start seeking. Everything is love.
Seeking, moving through some kind of a path is also a concept. Walking, like moving somewhere, walking on a path to somewhere, making a progress. All these things can happen, they are happening as concepts. The problem comes when there is believing in those, that these are important. This is where the heaviness comes.
Yeah, and let's say that the trouble, the seeking or the suffering is coming with, there is here or there is something wrong. And because it is wrong, it is separate from all the rest, beauty and harmony. But this is not right. This is just a doubt. No. The body is perfect part of this. It's a gift. Nothing wrong. Oh my God. Sorry for judging you.
For torturing you, so
for torturing, for doubting
so
that you're
so badly.
something wrong. And когато изследваме по този начин,
and when we explore in this way, when we inquire,
that this is nobody's, this is nobody's, this is nobody's, thoughts are nobody's, and then we'll discover this sentence that all universe is hidden in us. It's so vast. There is nothing which is can find that we are. And then again we can back here and to enjoy this gift, this beauty, this life.
yeah, in a way, knowing that, not believing that there is importance in anything. At the same time, there is so much joy and excitement, exploring everything without putting the meaning and importance there. I mean, so much enjoyment. When there is no pressure, there is no feeling of importance. For example, the importance you having this meeting. There is no importance here, but there is so much joy.
I just want to say that
Yes.
I'm the looking that I'm doing, I guess I'm, just realizing how fast the mind is to like add that concept, add that thought, add that layer, right? And just recognizing that is, at this moment anyway, really daunting. And not that there's anything to do battle with. That may be, an old stance of like, oh, I have to figure out how to fight this. I know I don't want to do that. But it's just amazing how fast it is. And hoping that, just continuing to look, and especially continuing to ask, like I did the other day. I had a big upwelling of emotion, of overwhelm, of hopelessness. And then the thought occurred to me, like, who is experiencing hopelessness? And then, I mean, it was still there, but it unhooked from, it wasn't mine, it was here. But boy, just, I almost want to anesthetize my mind somehow, like slow down, stop doing that. But I guess over time
it
will.
learns. Yeah, eventually this energy learns, not learns, but yeah.
It gets conditioned, gets reconditioned, right? Yeah.
When looking becomes more like more predominant, I would say, but not, it's not the right word. When the looking becomes more than thinking, which is very habitual. Thinking is so habitual. Then as if this energy calms down. And yeah, and then you can just sit and do nothing, and that's absolutely fine. And you can do everything, and that's also absolutely fine. But nothing comes from I need to do or I don't need to do in order to whatever. Yeah, but absolutely, you're absolutely right. It's very quick. Like the moment, and then
and I think maybe it's so stunning that it's so quick when one realizes that experience and thought are two different things, and then for them to, like, you know, get overlaid so fast. Yeah. Anyway.
Was it, Catherine, can I ask, was it a reaction that you were noticing how fast the thoughts came? Was it something that, was it a trigger that?
As I've been doing exercises, doing the looking, and so it's like over time I'm recognizing like how freaking fast, right? Like
yeah, because
always.
that when I went for a walk the other day, and I was noticing that too, that, you know, when I look at the tree, the mind says tree. And because it's beautiful where I live here now that it's spring has come, that it's like, you know, looking at it and then labeling it. And then I would try, then there was kind of an effort to just not label it. But then I thought of in Vince's meeting that I know that you're a part of, where Phil had said, well, thoughts are part of it too. Like you just said, thoughts and experience are two different things, but are they? Like, it's like thoughts are part of it too. And it's like, oh, okay, so I don't need to try to push them away, or they're also just, there it is, kind of. And then, yeah, so there was something else I wanted to say, but it's, if you wanted to respond to that, I don't know if you wanted to.
I mean, that's a helpful reminder that, yeah, this too is being experienced. And so this is interesting, because I'm feeling right up until now, what I've been noticing recently is then a reaction to the thoughts of it, you know, I wish that wasn't there, or like, oh, right. Where if I can go of that, then it's like, oh, the thought, you know, the word tree appears, but I can still try to like just be in my experience of whoa.
Right, because then I was noticing that I was like, oh no, thoughts. But then I was like, wait, I'm saying, oh no, thoughts. Like they're bad or something. And then that whole thing that Phil said the other day about like, so let them come. And what Luchana was just saying, like, they're of no importance. Like, actually, they're of no importance. So let them come.
I noticed that same thing that I noticed the same thing that you all did. I was outside in the garden. I was looking at my garlic. The leaves are all out, and there had been dew overnight. And I was out there staring at these garlic leaves because the dew was like so, and it didn't look like normal dew. So I was staring at it, and then I noticed that there were weeds under there, and I had to pull them. So my mind was saying, pull those weeds. So I, you know, it was part of the whole thing, but it wasn't like intrusive. I didn't take it as an intrusion on staring at garlic leaves.
Totally. Yeah. I wanted to talk to Lubo about the LU thread that we had going. I don't know if you know which one it is, Lubo, with me.
Yeah, I think I'm waiting your answer, or
I just responded last night. Sorry. It doesn't notify me like the other LU guide that I used to. It used to give me like a notification, but for some reason it didn't tell me, so I didn't know. So that's why it took me so long.
okay.
But you were basically like, I had this, I had seen through the me, but then last week I had an experience where there was this reaction to something that someone said. And you had replied about how, why don't you said something like, well, can't you see that that's a story, that the story that you're telling is, can't you see that, I think you were,
Nu știu chiar reagiră, e o reacție.
I can actually read what you wrote because I took a note of it. You said, hold on, let me find it. Okay, here's what you said. What happens when you say there is no guilty self and no mind thoughts, no thoughts, voice punishing? All this is my imagination, and I'm ready to stop pretending that I don't like the story of poor me and the mind voice that condemns and guides me. So you were basically saying, like, what happens when you say this to yourself, right? And then I responded, well, to me, when you say that, that's more thoughts. That's more thoughts telling me, well, because that's what happened too. Like, then I tried to soothe that discomfort because I was offended by what he said or something. I was trying to soothe the discomfort with, well, oh, I don't need to, those are just more thoughts and I don't need to worry about it, kind of, instead of just like feeling what was happening. So like Luchana said, like I was giving so much importance to what he said. And then after I was giving it so much importance, it was just so much discomfort that like everything was saying was trying to get back at him, or how dare he say that, or even, oh wait, I don't need to worry about it. Like even more, all thoughts, all concepts, more concepts, more concepts. When like, all the concepts, I wanted all the concepts, but I wanted none of this. Oh, I don't like what's happening. Like I didn't want to just feel what was happening. I wanted to just use all the concepts to make me feel better, right?
Yeah.
So I can see that the program, like, what Catherine was just saying, like, it's like a program. So I could see, 2 weeks ago, I was blown wide open and I could see that all this was just happening and it didn't have importance and it was so clear. And then a week later, the programming, even though there was no, even though I had seen through like, oh, this is just so random, the programming came back in and said, no. You got to control this. Or the programming was saying, it's not right. He's not right. And it's just funny how like the program then comes back in to say, no. You can't be just let the shit be random. You can't do that.
Yeah. Okay. With this question, I try to notice if there is a resistance or labeling that there is something wrong here. For example, something is going on with the child and there you're a bad mom. So, I should fight with this to prove that I'm good mom or to escape from this feeling. But when this question brings you to stop pretending I'm right, stop pretending that I'm something small, I'm something guilty. Oh, okay. So this feeling I'm bad mom is just a sensation passing by.
Label it by thought.
And then, okay. And you're here, let's say, in the center. You're. Mhm.
Yeah. And I was going over it with I had some other guidance that basically he was saying though that the minute, because you know how they talk about the gap, right? They talk about the gap in Fetters 4 and 5, how you're just supposed to stay in this gap. And he was saying like even when now you're past the gap. Once you start telling a story about, well, it's a story and like now you're past the gap. Before that, even like stay right there with it, stay right there with it, stay right there with it. Because and I even noticed it can be as subtle as like sometimes if I'm trying to stay right there with it, even like a deep breath, like that's what you learn how to cope, right? That's you learn how to cope with those feelings. Just take a deep breath, you'll feel better. Even the slightest thing of a deep breath has me, it's like it's taking me out of it. It's like, I don't want to feel this. A deep breath is going to make me not feel this anymore. So I can notice that how hard it is to stay there in the gap.
Yeah, Minecraft, super.
Yeah.
I like a wonderful pointer Facebook offered me. Some wise guy said that you are sharper than iglak.
Arrow.
Mm.
Needle.
Needle. You are sharper than needle. So needle cannot
Not, I don't know.
Cannot
Point.
cannot
Pierce.
yeah,
Pierce.
because you are sharper and you can Подумай ползвате.
Не знам.
Wow.
Mind goes blank. Nice. But you
So
know what
whatever is coming, you are sharper than this, and you can pass through it, even through the iglapak.
needle.
Needle, you are sharper than needles. Oh.
And also, I would like just to add that usually, very often, almost always, after a huge insights or expansion, there is, yeah, and that's like a little bit, as if we expect that we will never be angry at someone or irritated or frustrated. Yeah, but the fact that there is frustration, anger, or whatever sensation is there doesn't mean that the self is back. There never was a self from the beginning, and these sensations, they were there. But yeah, lovely. There was a question here.
Yeah, Jahara, I will see your reply and I will answer.
I'm going to. There is a question here just to see in YouTube something.
How do you start your day?
Tanya. Hey, Tanya. Tony. Tony. How do you start your day? How do you start your day? What
Tony.
A beautiful question. The day starts itself without me doing anything. Usually, when I open my eyes and here comes the day coming here.
Yeah, Tony, notice how starts your day. Suddenly, then everything is here. No need to do anything.
Yeah, but I guess there is a question about what's happening, like what we are doing in our day, how the day starts with coffee, and with reading something.
Yeah, replying in Liberation English Forum.
replying in the forum, reading something. Lately,
Yeah.
we
Normal life.
normal.
And
And
a lot of colors,
shapes.
forms, sounds. Yeah. Mm.
Some days are busy. I mean, a lot of things are happening. We are going somewhere, traveling, running, rushing. Some days are not like that.
Okay, enjoying to make plans to book a flight or
A place.
manage, yeah, travels, journey.
Yeah, I remember like I used to, I mean, everything ever since kind of seeing through it,
Mhm.
like there's everything's so much easier because it's not like there's not, since the importance of everything is kind of not as heavy, the things just kind of happen. So the body just does. And like the things that I used to like resent or complain about, now it's like the story about why I should be upset about it is not there. So it just gets done. And yeah, it's so much just, yeah. And if I don't want to do it, like I just don't do it. And then there's not a worry about like, but if you don't do it, then this will happen and you should do it. You really should. Yeah. Then it's like, it reminds me of like the self-help when I used to be into self-help and like, you need to start your day. If you want to be successful, you need to start your day by doing this, this, and this. And if you don't do this first thing in the morning, here's how to be successful.
Yeah.
Step 1, do this, make your bed, do the, you know, and it's like,
That is the first one. Yeah.
Yeah.
there's all these, and you know, there's all these things that like you have to do. Here's how to start your day, like to be,
And usually
to feel good.
when we read those stuff, or when someone tell us that it's good to be like that, it's good to have a routine or good to have something like that, and there is a rebellion like comes like, no, I don't want to be like that. A resistance, like huge resistance. No, I'm going to leave my bed for a whole day. Like, I don't want to be like that, as if there is something which says no to this, which is also good in a way. But it comes again from these unconscious mechanisms which operates this mom and dad game. When mom says or dad says something, and the usual answer is to the child, usual answer is no. Or doing that with resentment. What else is here? Let's look some other concept.
Yeah, we passed to this topic now is forgot the
Now
to
came.
understand.
The English is not present
Um,
today, but I think you are very fine.
So life is going on, and when some situation appear and thoughts are coming and say, usually in this situation, you should feel not happy because this is your survival program to be not happy, to show yourself small and to show that you feel pain or whatever, and to show that you resist to this because you don't like it, and probably this will change and probably you will survive in the future. But seeing that self is illusion and all this game is no need of life is going on. All this have absolutely a right to be here. Us, what is, can do his things, working, chatting, kissing, loving, whatever. And everything is hot, is floating, everything is warm. It's hell. And then all this game of shoot and shouldn't, and want something, resist, and this wanting, all this game are seen like survival mechanism from our childhood when we were small in a kindergarten to protect our dollies, whatever.
Yeah, resistance is a huge thing, I would say. When the illusion of the self is seen through, that doesn't mean that the resistance stops immediately. There is still resistance towards almost everything. This is how we used to be, how the system learns to survive, to live. To live, to survive means to resist.
Yeah, but the joke is that, oh, this is given and this is give, this is pleasure. Everything is absolutely what you want is given here. This, everything. And if something is not okay, so there is something hidden in unconscious program which is resisting and ordering this constantly. I don't like this, but this is ordered in the shadow. But I want that. Please,
And there is
please.
like, I don't want that, but unconsciously I order that in all, like all the time.
Yeah.
Today I was having a talk with a friend, and there was a beautiful revelation. Like I just desire so much deep connection, deep loving connection. I desire that for all my life, and it's not happening. And with each relationship, there is like it ends on a certain way, and I am aware that I'm doing something to end the relationship, even though I badly want that. This is how it works.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and here my experience is so the why I order some, let's say, troubles, and the answer is coming because if you don't have troubles with which you are
Fighting.
to deal with, then you will should meet your anger, your power. This is very scary. What? I'm ordering something to going on here to deal with because there is a fear to not meet anger. It's a wow, it's so amazing to see this.
Yeah, and actually it's very good when some emotions which were not which are not familiar, were not familiar till now are start coming, come up. That's a good thing. Out of nowhere, suddenly something which you were not aware that it's there.
Did you say we're ordering it? Is that what you said?
Yeah. The evidence is the proof of wanting. I read that in 2 days ago. The evidence, because it is happening, this is the evidence. Whatever situation is happening, is the evidence of wanting.
The evidence that you ordered it, you mean?
Yes, of wanting that to happen. So much power, unconscious power.
Yeah, every second is our we manifest everything every second. And
This is
even
the
when
Big Bang.
you are unconscious, that
Constant.
manifesting is
Yeah, and
Still
now
going on.
it's the same. This is live streaming.
yeah.
It doesn't stop anyone.
Yeah, and now because we are talking, and now you can notice that there is a, let's say, belief or experience that there is no life happening, but thinking is happening and sharing is happening. But all this is bullshit. Now it's
Live stream.
yeah.
There is something here also. I'm going to leave it. If someone wants to share, please feel free to unmute and share.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I love the practice or just the experience of seeing everything is what I ordered. The fear comes, I love you. I ordered you. How wonderful that you're here. Thank you. It's so great.
Yeah.
And, oh, I ordered these trees and all these things that are appearing here. Everything. I ordered the whole world as it's appearing. It's amazing.
Yeah, and you can notice with your heart how with something you resonate, you want to hug the tree to be with us, also with you, and this is just wow. This is my thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just so, if somebody appears to be angry with me, oh, I ordered that. It's happening.
Yeah,
So beautiful.
yeah. When someone is angry, you can notice your anger also is here. Wow.
Yeah. Wow.
And you can notice how no, don't experience this. This is awful to feel
too
your
much.
power. It's too much, but why?
Yeah, the others, I'm putting those in quote marks, but because ultimately there are no others, are mirrors. The best
Mm.
mirrors are the closest one. These are the best mirrors.
Mhm.
Parents, children, brothers, sisters. Whatever.
Mm.
Yeah.
Cats.
Mhm. Yeah. Thank you for sharing this. So
Yeah, I want to read. There is a question here, but I forget it. From a friend, something about the body. I think I
did you experience awakening from the
level of the body. Did you experience awakening of the level of the body?
Notice that body cannot experience, but body is
Also experience.
experience like everything.
Yeah, body is not something separate from the rest. Body this appears as a body as well.
Yeah, if we use this word incarnation is with everything. Sky, everything. Even Luchana is here. No. Nothing separate.
Yeah.
So awakening the level of the body. What do you mean? So seeing that there is no self is that, wow, there is life happening. As this, and there is nothing wrong with this. It's wow. And this also here is miracle. Yeah. So I don't know what makes
maybe,
you to ask this question.
Yeah, maybe if there is some kind of a difference feeling like in the experience of a body, probably. I don't know. If you want to add some more to that question, if you want, of course. From my experience, I can share that I'm paradoxically more in my body than before. Like the experience is more here than here. Like it's so here. And the body feels lighter. And lighter probably is the right word. Of course, there is tiredness and sometimes my back hurts, and I would love, like, I love doing yoga 30 minutes per day. But yeah, what can else be said about the body? Again, a body is also a concept. Don't stick to that too much. Healthy food, exercise, whatever. That's good, but
Yeah, my experience is to accept anger and erotic energy, not resisting, not shame this, but wow, discovering that they are here, they are beautiful. And you can say that this is, for me, is awakening of the body. So true.
that there is nothing wrong there. There is nothing wrong with anything.
Yeah, it doesn't mean addiction. I should argue with everyone or make sex with everyone. No, it's just to allow this energy to be here. Really enjoy. You can flow with this energy all day. The erotic energy is so creative. You can work with this. No need to be naked. No, just this is what I want to create it. Constantly is coming.
Yeah, and also something, there is a lot of things suppressing in the body. So when they are not suppressed and they start come up, it feels like some heaviness is being lifted. For example, shame. Shame is totally made up. There is no actual experience of shame. Totally made up. When this is seen, of course, it feels nice. Of course, and lighter. I don't know why I'm repeating that word, but it feels closer. Yeah. It's writing something. Probably a follow-up question. I'm going to put my glass. It's like the nervous system going crazy, emotional purging and releasing. Pains and dance arises, feel like they are dissolving. Yeah. Body can shake, can jump, can.
You ask, we have such like a peak, like
something like your body shakens or whatever. I laughed. Yeah, and my body was I couldn't stop laughing for a long period.
Yeah, and
it was also exhausting in the end.
Yeah, here something like a relief, something like dostaviš težak tovar.
Leave heavy baggage.
Wow. Something like this. We heard about something like
Yeah, we heard about some kind of awakenings through the body, tantra or something, but I never had that experience of something moving through my body or whatever. Just the laughter. Laughter is predominant here. It could be tears as well. It's also valid. There is no way in which things are happening, no one way. Like, that's why it's called unconditional, because it doesn't put conditions.
Yeah, and here something is coming. Notice if these questions are coming from expectations that seeing that there is no self is a state. So when you see, something will happen. Oh, this is not a state. So there is no self even now. And if the body is contracted, fear is coming, anger, there's even in this moment there is no self. So no need to shame yourself or someone else. I don't have this experience and now self is back. It's impossible to self is back.
Yeah, go on.
I have heard of people like, yes, they have these jerk reactions where like their hands, they can't control it. I've heard of that before through other interviews.
Yeah, it
Like,
can
and
happen.
even there was one that she was talking to Angelo, the Lulo, and even while she was being interviewed, she like something just, it's just this random thing, just like everything else is random, just like and it's like you don't know why, just like everything else, you don't know why. It's like, but we need, it's like we need to understand it, and we need to, we just need to, we want to understand, but why, how, and
And we make like we put labels to those, and we are waiting for something that to happen.
Sure. And like I had to like stop listening to, like, at one point when I started going on these calls with you and Vince, I had to stop listening to all the other people's interviews, because I noticed that, like,
Good, that's good.
then I was like, I was kind of saying to myself, well, why do they get it and I don't? Or I would say, oh, I should do what they do. Or I would say, oh, I had to stop listening, because then I noticed that, like, it was just like more comparison, right?
I love that you share
and
that.
it doesn't, and it's like your own thing. And it's totally like, it's not anything they're gonna say, although, like, what I think what really got it, for what really had me awaken was, I mean, my guide did when I got guided on one of the meetings, he told me how to do direct experience, and that's how I finally did it. I finally, well, there were a bunch of things, but it was mostly how to have the direct experience.
Exactly.
So that's not listening to somebody else's interview or how they did it or their experience of it, like, that's not going to do it. What's going to do it is just like staying here.
Yeah, when there is a readiness for that, this is what usually happens. I just love that you share that. This is one of the reason, maybe the main reason for which I stopped interviewing people. I just stopped doing that.
I mean, I could see that, like, it's so interesting. You're so wide open, and you just want to you love interacting, and I love you. I want to hear about it. Tell me, like, ooh, like everything's
Yeah, but
I know why you would want it.
How tricky is that, because people are watching these things and they're just like, wow, but this is not happening with me. There is something wrong.
Yeah,
lovely.
Wonderful. And I want to back to this topic that seeing no self, this is not a state. In Liberationalist Forum, the final questions, there is no such thing as, do you have tremor or something in the body? Дали се прозяваш, дали повръщаш?
Feel vomiting or whatever. Yeah. Again, it can happen. It's not important. Yeah. Like everything else. Yeah.
The questions are: is there inherent self? Is there a doer? Is there manager of life? Is there sort of, yeah. So I want to back to this guy. He or she which asked the question. So notice in your direct experience, is there a doer? Is there a lever of life? Manager of life? This is what we're looking for, not to So the question is how to deal with frustration.
Yeah, with frustration. How to deal with frustration? How to deal?
Give me example.
I'm frustrated because you late, for example, or because you told me that you are going to do whatever and you didn't do that. So I'm frustrated.
So
This is the example.
let's say life is showing up in some situation, and someone makes something, and you feel something.
Frustration.
So frustration is if there is a resistance against the sensations which are coming, the feelings. But if you wow, it's like a jacuzzi. Oh, thank you. I feel so much anger when you late, when you say this here. It's not wow.
This is
Thank
how
you.
we deal with frustration.
Yeah, you can share what is your feeling, but without judging. You can say, when you say this or do this, or when I saw that you are doing this, I feel, not you.
Makes me feel like that.
Yeah.
And also, what this is from experience, of course. I'm not saying that it's for everyone or it should be for everyone, but I noticed that when it is expressed at the moment and not hold back, I used to be like resentful, like holding back and just suffering alone. But it's not like that. It's just the moment when something is happening is being said. You know, this is very helpful. At least I find out.
Yeah. Sorry.
So this is how we deal with frustration or whatever. Of
I don't
course,
remember. I don't
we
remember
can-
where I first heard it. Is that, you know, with this process, we don't stop having emotions. We stop attaching to emotions, right?
True, that's true.
They arise and they move on, and because everything's in motion and impermanent, and here it is, and then it's not. And
Yeah, I think I have the feeling that some sadness can come when we start directly experiencing that there is, of course, there is no one here, and then we have this subtle expectation that once this is seen, all of a sudden everything will be like
Yeah,
full of roses.
This may happen, but
Yeah, it may happen, but most
usually not. But
usually
this doesn't
not.
mean that the illusion of self is not seen.
Yeah.
This is just all patterns which are coming.
So these patterns, they are circulating, these old models, they are circulating around something which was not there at the
Yes,
first place.
nothing wrong with this.
There was nothing there, and then the patterns are.
Yeah, there is the question, who has a problem with selfing? I do this, I feel so guilty. Who has this problem? So it's a yeah, it's not pleasant. Yeah. But ultimately, nothing is wrong.
Yeah, because
Mhm.
there's just such a strong belief that I can change this. If only I get frustrated enough, or there's just, I mean, I feel like what causes frustration is the story that says, this is not right, I can change it, it should be changed, and what the fuck is wrong with people?
This is the easiest way. Yeah, exactly.
Right? Like, that's what I mean. Frustration happens when you believe that, well, no, this should not be like this.
that it should
I
be.
need to do, yeah, and like, obviously it should be different. I mean, we gotta change this. This is not right, right? Like, this is not right, and you know, it's hard to, it's confusing when you haven't seen. I don't know. I know that it's like,
And yet
you guys talk about
change-
not.
Yeah, change may happen, change may appear when it is not coming from this false idea that I need to change things. And
Right, because that's what people think. It's like, well, I need to, but things are wrong in the world.
Yes,
And
exactly.
so if you don't believe that, then how will things ever be right? Or then nobody will care. But that's not what happens.
Yeah, first we need to admit, everyone without exclusion, that we are all an inseparable part of this unconscious stuff which is happening out there. This is us, everyone is that dark matter which is producing all of that. So when we admit that there is so much shit in me as well, this is how the game is changing.
Yeah,
Literally.
and to notice that, let's say this appear here with idea to do something, like a bird to fly, like a humanity to human,
Human to human.
human to human, yeah. And to notice what wants to pass through us to this. Okay, I feel pleasure to do this, yeah, and worrying about something which is not your job is absolutely bullshit. No, this is not. Yeah. Just enjoy what is coming here. This is ordered to be here like this, to do such thing. That's all. It's wonderful. No need to do anything to change. This is the beauty. This is the.
Yeah, and yet change may happen without intention for change.
Right. The activism could still happen.
Yes.
Yeah, it could still happen. But that's what I used to think that. But without, if I just go with whatever, then, bad things will happen. And that's the story is we just believe that like the future, right? We're always so concerned, like, well, I can do something now to change the future. And we're so in the future that, yeah.
The future, there is no future, but it starts from here. So the willingness to change, not to change, but to look here is what is changing the world ultimately. We used to go to protests so much. In our country, there was like a tough time, we were so much into the activism. Now
So you mean that was that before you woke up, or?
Yeah, it was before, and I remember I was reading a book. I don't know what kind of book. I think it was Disease as a Symbol, or yeah, Fate as a Chance, or something like that. A beautiful book though, and there was written there that if you are going and doing something, you are just
what you are fighting with, you make it bigger.
Yeah, and he was like, oh, that's not possible. This guy is not right. He's wrong. How could, if I'm not there, what will happen? And I remember how angry was towards almost everyone who was not involved there. And now I'm noticing that. But there is no energy here to go and say, guys, calm down. Because there are people out there who are doing what they're doing, but they're not, they're just blaming everyone else that is not doing the same thing. And I'm having so much fun with that. But I was like that, of course.
And when you were doing all those interviews, was that also, did you want to do all those interviews after you kind of saw through it and you were just so curious and you wanted to? Okay.
It was after, but there was so much curiosity to connect with like
this, like, right, like me wanting to be here, yeah.
And there was such the energy was like that, fluid in this way. I couldn't do anything but just recording more and more and more. It was crazy stuff. in a way, but I like it. No, I just loved each interview which was being recorded, each one of those people. I just love them. I remember this guy. Do you remember this guy? John Butler? Do you know this guy? He's an Englishman with a long white beard. He looks like a magician.
Sure.
Like a son.
So like Santa. Yeah, lovely, lovely guy. So
I
much-
can remember like watching something a long time ago with you, and like yeah, I can remember like there was like a long silence and how uncomfortable that was, that like, right? Like, you know, back then, like, you know, even just all of the concepts of like, well, why aren't they saying anything? Or you know, or she's so awkward or something, like all of these things that like now it's just like, yeah.
Totally.
Now it's like, oh, now I can see, ooh, how silence is so delicious
Yes.
sometimes, right?
Yes, totally. Yeah, when we are not comfortable with what's here, silence is a threat. I mean, when there is a silence and there is like immediately wanting to say something, to just cut that silence to. So,
Catherine.
thanks. Bye, Catherine.
Bye, Catherine. Thank you for being with us.
Thank you for showing up here. Much love. Yeah. And also, definitely there is, things are changing and there is deepening, I may say, without anyone going deeper, but there is deepening, unfolding. But you know that, I mean, you already know that. You know
Yeah,
that.
I mean, when I first saw it, you know, Vince was like, and so it begins. And I'm like, I kind of like didn't understand, like he's like, this is where it starts, kind of.
Exactly. This is where it starts in your life.
And but when it was first, it was like, but this is that. I like I understood it all. I was like, I could never feel guilty again. I could never feel shame. Why would you? Like, I was just like, yeah. And then it's like, you know, then those things happen where you're just like, then you're just the 5-year-old girl again, all of a sudden in shame. Then you're just like, you know, it's just from in the body. It's in the body. It's just not, it's no longer, I don't know. It's like, yeah, it's just like a programming of hormones and the evolution of this body or something that like, it's still deepening, like you said. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's wonderful to notice that we're enjoying things like Game of Thrones, The Last of Us, with a lot of blood, drama. We enjoy it. We pay to see this, to experience. So here's the same. So if some drama is coming, this is.
It's a different story. Here's this story. That's a story they're telling you on the screen, and that's like, oh, and this is the other story that's happening. That's
yeah.
What's gonna happen next?
Yeah, we have full right to enjoy this drama, to feel it fully.
Yeah, there is no. Now, when I said that I'm not doing interviews lately, I have this impulse to ask you, Harry, if you want to record a video. Out of a sudden, it comes like, would you like? Don't.
Oh yeah, no. I mean, just like there also is that still little kind of. No, but what would I say and how would I look? And there is still,
This is a very good.
subtle,
Very good.
subtle, but
Yeah, just reflect on that. Amazing.
Huh? Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah, because I remember like that there's another girl that does videos with Angelo. Her name is Violet. And she like I commented something on one of her videos and she wrote back like, oh yeah, like I'd love to like interview or something. I'd love to talk to you about that because I have my kids home and we don't do school. We don't do even school at home. They just learn just
Mhm.
by just living their lives.
Yes.
So I think she was kind of curious about that too. And this was also before I kind of woke up that I remember thinking like, oh, but what would I say? And like, what's she gonna ask me? And like, I don't want to look stupid or something.
You don't have
Yeah.
to that. So words are coming and they're being spoken and
Yeah. Oh God, it's so much easier.
yeah,
It's such a relief.
true.
And it's so beautiful to just like,
Yeah, so here is an invitation and you can answer that invitation whenever you feel okay.
okay, thank you.
So, I don't know, just an impulse. Someone suggested me, I don't know, not long time ago, to start doing interviews with people who are like with which there is a time, let's say a year at least or two from the forum,
Mhm.
to look how this goes, like how this deepens. That's a good idea as well.
Well, do you guide people on Zoom like one-on-one?
Yes.
That would be that then, right? Just kind of recording those conversations.
Yeah, but maybe I never
Yeah,
thought
but
about that.
usually everyone wants to be in the safe private place.
Do they? They do?
Yeah,
I
most
guess, yeah.
people.
Yeah, we've had I guess we've had that issue on Vince's meeting where like he's like, well, some people want it to be private or unlisted because you know he'll record the meeting and then he'll post it like unlisted, I guess. So, but I guess he's come across that. But I do share the sentiment that it's like, well, why would you care? Why would you care? Kind of. But I could see how if you're in a certain position
there is
at your work or
conditioning.
something.
Yeah, there is conditioning which is playing there, which is very strong. It doesn't matter that the self is seen through or the illusion is seen through. There is conditioning. I spoke with someone a year or two ago, and there was such a beautiful and clear like recognition, but they don't want to be recorded, and that's it. I mean, you know how many people are out there, not only those who are showing ourselves like us and you, there are so many people who are just quietly staying there, which is awesome.
Yeah, and this was very sweet question of, you know, now she's admin liberation report. In the beginning, she asked, but guys, why you are doing this? There is no one.
No, she said, no. There was, I said, we are doing meetings almost each week, so you can come and join. And she was like, what for? I mean, yeah, what for? Yeah, why not? This question has no answer. To why, you can answer with why not? I mean, why not? Right?
Yeah, it's like because it's fun.
It's not like, and because
If someone wants to share something, guys, girls, Judy, Martin, Barbara, we are, I don't know what time is it.
I wonder if Judy, I think this is the Judy from Vince's meeting. She was saying something cool on the last call at the end. She was talking about her work.
That's me. Hi.
Yeah, because I had hung up, but then, sometimes when I hang up, because the meetings go like 4 hours sometimes. So sometimes when I hang up early, I always listen afterwards. And I appreciated what you were saying about your work and reflecting on that. I can't remember what it was now, but I remember just
about my job or my.
yeah, about this whole thing at the end there. I don't even remember specifics, but I remember appreciating it, and because it was like kind of deepening somehow for me.
Yeah, I guess it was more about the process of I was sitting with stuff, and I have my camera off because it's above my head if I sit close to the microphone, and then it looks really weird. So
Oh, I know. It was about like how your authenticity now with the clients, how it seems the authenticity is serving them so much better in a way, because
yeah, because it's
you're not
really
coming from this mind place, and it's like when they feel this authenticity, it serves them more than you trying to give them advice or something,
Yeah, it really is, and it's so now it's more like, and I have to start applying that with everyone really, because it's the same process with anyone, but I kind of discovered it that if I don't worry, if I just listen and not even think about what I'm going to say, or well, I should say that, because you do tend to do that in therapeutic situation. Well, I'll say this and I'll say that. If I don't do that, sometimes I'll go, oh, wow, or okay, I understand. And they're like, and then I was like, oh, so just whatever would come out. And sometimes by not really saying much of anything, what you call content, they would walk away going, oh, I feel so much better. And I'd be like, okay, I had nothing to.
It's crazy because it's like this energy. Yeah, it's like this energy.
It
It's
was
like
a
this
discovery for me.
clean energy or something that they feel. Because it's like with my kids too, lately, there's something different, and it's like, it's even like they're even more willing to be more cooperative in some. And I don't know if it's just because of my mind state that I'm perceiving it that way, but there seems to be a different, there's something going on that's like different.
I don't know.
That feels like
no
there's
mindset, sort of. It's when you get out and you don't, it's like you're letting it be what it is, which is all we can really do. And then we're just doing whatever, is going to be done, whatever we say. And it's that relaxation kind of, because I know in certain situations I'm still with certain people because I've made them important, which was great to hear earlier. I tend to I am a lot, but sometimes I'm still like, oh, I need to call this person because they probably misunderstood what I said, or these things, and I'm like, oh no, I don't really need to do that, but I can just see it when it comes up, And it was interesting to hear about the shaking, because I'm having tons of shaking, and it's great. There was the other night I had it, and I was like, wait, I didn't sit down to do this. This just started happening. I wasn't, and I was a bit concerned. I thought, no, it's okay. Like today, I'm like, it's fine. It comes and goes. And my translation of that is more like why it's not everyone doesn't go through it is because some people store things in their body kind of, or they get their conditioning comes from body things, and other people's conditionings is more of the mind, and some people's conditioning is more emotional, if that makes sense. And maybe that's why
totally.
everyone has a different experience. It's not always the same because we're all, even though
yeah, I had and it was because of one of the interviews that I watched that I went to do like a Kundalini thing because of somebody. I was like, oh, I'll just do what she does, right? Because of course, right? So I was like, I want to try that. So I did this it's called CAP, Kundalini activation process.
Yeah.
And it was fucking crazy because like you basically just lay there and then you close your eyes, and then they do, I don't know what. They put their hands around you or something that moves the energy, and like like my whole body was moving by itself.
There's a thing called
My eyes were closed, but like I was like, not only was I shaking, but there was some shit going down. Like I sat up, I turned around, like my hand was going like this to my heart, like, and it was all, my eyes were closed the whole time. And then like, and then it was over. And like, this was also before I could see, but like, I remember thinking like when it was over, I'm like, holy shit, like I didn't, like my body was just doing that. Like I wasn't controlling that at all. Like, and it was before it was obvious that all of it is just not controllable. But that part was like, oh, I was like, oh wow, that was just happening. I didn't do it. But now it's like, oh, everything's always just happening. I don't do it.
yeah. Well, there's a thing called TRE. Have you heard of it? Yeah.
Too. I've done that too recently.
And
And that's crazy, but that feels like more like, because it's your muscles, because you kind of are working your muscles when you're holding it, and then you let them wide open, that it's kind of, yeah, but the TRE, yes, I've done that too.
Well,
Yeah.
what happened was I was spontaneously shaking for a while.
While you were doing the session, you mean?
No, before I even heard of TRE.
Oh, before, okay.
I have to go, oh God, I gotta go lie down. And I'd lie down and shake, and then 9 times I'd feel a lot of peace after. And honestly, I came across it, I thought, oh, this is interesting. So I did it. So if people do want to do that kind of work, you can actually release some tension in the body with TRE. And I did it, but now it's like, but it's for any position your body's in. You don't have to take those positions. You can, I think it's with the TREs, once people realize they can do that, they can allow body movements that are unconscious and not being directed towards the body. Once they learn that, you don't have to follow that, keeping your knees together apart. You can do it on your back so I just found it really interesting. And so it's kind of, I think it's good for body work for people that have this unreleased tension. But again, of course, it's a concept as well. But, sometimes we need concepts to get under, concepts take us, they're like pointers. Yeah. And then eventually I feel like I keep dropping concepts as I go. And then I take them more lightly. And then it's like, again, going, if I'm taking something serious, then I haven't really, I haven't taken it lightly, and I'm making it into a concept, and I'm making it that this is something that I can actually do something about, just what concepts are. Okay, you do this, then you sit down and you put your feet in the air and you close your eyes or whatever. Those are all concepts, but they do help. They do help on the path in some way. Or if that is a way to describe it. But yeah. So, but yeah, it's been great listening to everybody. It's really great.
Thank you.
And I like the more
Thanks
what's
for
your
coming
name?
and sharing.
What is your name? The
Luchana and Lubo.
Lugo. I
Lubo.
like how was it?
Lubo.
Lubo, sorry. He's more like rawr, rawr, and he just makes noises and hand signals, and I completely get it. It's really good.
Yeah, the energy here is more like, even though now he's a little bit tired.
Yeah, so
So lovely, so lovely.
Yes. I have to get back to the children.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We
okay.
are.
Thank you.
it was nice listening to you, everybody.
There is a question here. Let me just check. Let me just look at that question if you want, and then we can.
I'm going to stay listening, but I'm going to turn off my mic.
Yeah, sure.
Thank you.
Is there a methodology? How do I apply myself to experience non-duality? I experienced enlightenment randomly, so I know what you are talking about, but the effect faded, and now is the matrix again. Matrix. So can you first notice that there is probably an expectation that non-duality is something like a state that you can abide there. Non-duality is a pointer, like Judy beautifully said. It's a concept, pointer. It's just points.
And also, there is no self is also a pointer.
It's a concept, of course,
To
because there
notice
is no self.
what is going on here.
Direct experience is what can help.
Mhm.
I think what really helped me was because I was going in and out of, and I still do, in and out of, experiences. And Vince is my guide, and he just said, "You're thinking that there's permanence to things,
There's no permanence.
and that's a scary thing to look at." So, and there's still the habits of looking for permanence in my thoughts and my body and things like that. But when I heard that, I was like, oh yeah, I'm trying to make this bliss or this peace be permanent and hold on to it and make it, a thing and all those things. So it's normal. It's just normal to go in and out of everything. Like you said, it's experiencing. And it does take a while. And I don't like to say that because then I'm like, oh, time, I think about time, then I'm waiting. But it just comes and things come and go. Everything comes and goes. And that's a big order for people to accept that, I think. Because
we are not looking for experience. That's true. And we're not looking for a state in which we can abide without anything else to us, without negative emotions. And without...
Yeah, and about the
methodology.
So we are familiar with two types. Everything is concept, of course. So the first is direct pointing and direct looking. Where is the self? And idea that small me inside the head, behind the eyes, and you just check that, oh, this is a belief, nothing like this is going on. Oh, this is life happening. And let's say the second is through the heart, through the sensation, to notice what is wrong here. Why we should doubt that there is something wrong here. And passing through all these fears, concepts, doubting is also a wonderful way to pass through illusion, through resistance, through these
mechanisms.
Yeah.
The direct pointing and direct experience in looking, experiencing, at least in this experience here is shorter and
yeah, but when we guide what pops up, we work with this. If there is a fear or something emotional, we work with this. There is not such thing as this just emotion.
Yeah.
Don't go there. No.
If something is arising at the moment, I'm not going to say there is no self. Look, there is no self because there is something going on at the moment and it needs to be addressed. This is at least what's the feeling here. This is my way of compassion, so to speak.
I had a client, you remember, she had fear, and there's something like a question, okay, meet fear and notice what is behind it. And then all the illusion collapses because she said, some voice said, don't move, and fear came and then disappeared. Wow! And suddenly all the veils dropped.
Yeah,
It's
when you
explain.
pass through emotion, those like a strong emotion like fear, also can happen. Yesterday I was having with something there was we were in the middle of something, and then the voice in the head said, "Don't dare to take your eyes off me," like it's like threat, like how could you? Don't dare take your eyes off me. Stay here, stay here, stay here, stay here.
I will guide you.
Yeah.
This voice will, the parents in the head will
Yeah,
guide
so if to the question, you can try and subscribe in the Liberation Unleashed forum, where there are guides like us. You can apply for a guide, and yeah, it's free.
or ask us.
Or ask us. Yeah, you can message me or Lubo if you want. There are many people waiting and not so many guides. So if you are willing to wait a little bit
And
I
then
don't know.
become a guide.
and then
Mhm.
become a guide. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, we are here available
Yeah, and
if you want to look something
we
more
love to do this.
closely. What comes next for us? For us, I mean, we are going in Sweden next week.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Stockholm
guys,
Tantra Festival.
if someone from Sweden is watching this, or from Stockholm, we will love to see you there. We are going
Yeah,
to
come we'll meet.
come and meet. Let's meet.
Yeah,
Just to give us a sign.
yeah, we'll have something like 3
Days.
sessions there,
2 or 3 seconds.
2 or
okay?
3. It will be nice to meet one-on-one.
We are excited. Yeah, in
Well,
person.
we will prepare something nice for this Tantra Festival.
And then
We'll
what?
work through shame. With shame.
Well, with protective mechanisms. And then in May, this is May, 12th to the 14th of May, we are there. And then June, Thassos Island.
Yeah, that's
Barbara. Here is Barbara, which will fly, which is going to be with us. Yeah, a week with us, spend a week with us on a Greek island. The information is in our website if you're curious.
Yeah,
Just
if
a
you want to
lovely
spend-
opportunity to come and be on a Greek island with us for a week. We are going to be in one lovely apart hotel. I mean, apart, yeah, it's like apart hotel. Lovely apartments with very close, I mean, 20 meters from the beach.
From Long Beach to 3 kilometers.
We are like locals in this island. We spent there 7-8 years already, the whole summer. So yeah, it's going to be fun.
So now it's
This is for now. See you next probably week.
Thank you.
Much love.
Have fun in Sweden.
What-
Have
what-
fun in
Have fun in
Sweden.
Sweden. Thank
I
you.
really wanted to go.
Yeah,
It's-
thank you.
thank you.
Okay, thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Well, bye.
Bye.
Much
Bye.
love. Much love, everyone. Bye, guys.
Oh.